Have you guys ever wondered what it looks like to have a fishing sponsor? I'm talking rods, reel, and line. Now, before I unbox nearly $4,000 worth of fishing gear right in front of the camera, our verse of the day is pretty timely. It's from Galatians 6:9. It says, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." Man, a lot of crazy stuff on the news, very discouraging things too. With all the evil going on in the world, my friends, let's not give up in doing good. I'm gonna split this video into 3 sections and also 3 locations. First off, we're gonna start outside because of this big old box. This thing is fat, man. Now, first of all, I have an announcement to make. I am officially part of Team Cast King. You might be familiar with their brand from looking at their products on like Amazon or stuff like that. But I know what you're gonna say. You're like, hey Ryan, weren't you running a lot of those other Japanese brands and you had a rod sponsor and everything? Yes, I was. And I wanna be completely transparent with you guys. I've decided to no longer work with my old rod sponsor just because they were trying to bring me on for more things, which I feel like would limit the type of content I can make. I've been doing YouTube for 5 years and I'm very, very thankful for all the wonderful companies I've worked with in the past, but there is a time for everything, kind of like what the Bible says. And so I have decided to start a new chapter. One thing you might have noticed is over the past couple years, I have been fishing with a Cast King reel here and there. I just get my hands on a product and then I could say whatever I want. Now, I already foresaw that some of you guys were gonna make this comment about, oh, well, the products they make are not as good as, let's say, Shimano or Daiwa, right? Let's throw out a couple of those brands that are known for super high quality stuff. And that's why I've been running a lot of those brands for the past couple years. Like, I ran a lot of DC for the longest time. I had some of the highest tier spinning gear, and so this decision was not out of left field. So try to understand that I came to this decision of this new sponsor by me fishing with all this nice gear pretty much my whole fishing career. And then little by little, I saw this brand that was rapidly growing, and they started to make some nice stuff, and I wanted to be a part of it. And please do excuse me, because I'm recovering from a cold, so my voice might not be the best. You hear some congestion and everything. It came to the point where I was like, hey, Cast King makes some really nice stuff. I used to think of them kind of as kind of a cheap Amazon brand in a way. Just very affordable gear, but not really known for quality. But as I started to realize some of their products they were coming out with, whether it would be a reel that had a whole computer inside or reels that just had the highest gear ratio, which means it could like turn super duper duper fast, I began to realize, hey, this is a company that actually likes to innovate. And if you watch my content, you understand that I love new things. I don't really care so much about like the tried and true stuff that just kind of stays boring. I want to do something crazy. And so once again, full transparency, I was the one that went ahead and reached out to Cast King. I was like, hey, I love what you guys do. Does my content align with the goals of the company in the same way that yours aligns with mine as a channel? A quick tip for those of you guys who are thinking about doing this YouTube stuff, and especially in the fishing space when you're working with companies, please, please, please make sure that the companies you are partnered up with allow you to just keep on doing your thing. The last thing you want is for a company to tell you, okay, hey, we require this many videos a month and we want the videos to be exactly the way we want it, not the way that you like to make your content organically. So Cast King, thankfully, they agreed. They are just gonna be a rod and reel and line sponsor for me. That's it. I'm just incorporating them to my already existing type of content where I do little challenges, I do survival videos, do catch and cooks. Y'all are probably wondering what's inside this box. So the first topic, right, reels. I also have a couple bits of line and tackle box mixed in here. I don't know what's the best way to do this that makes sense, but I'm gonna try and pour it out on this table, which is glass, which is probably a bad idea. You know what, I'm gonna have it sloped just like this. I'm just gonna start pulling things out. Here we go. I can organize it all on this table and that'll make it. Oh no, bruh, no. All right. Oh, Cast King, don't drop me already. That was hilarious. Yo. I don't even know what fell, bro. Y'all were about to see the fastest sponsorship and the de-sponsorship in the world. But thankfully, all that fell was a tackles box. And I want to make very clear to you guys, I'm not making this video to flex at all, because I can just flex my fish on y'all. You know, the 1 pound bass and the 50-pound bluegill. But like I say, I always want my videos to serve as inspiration to you guys, because the amount of people I get asking me how to start a YouTube channel, how to get sponsors, it's insane. Watch, focus, focus, focus. I don't know if you can even see that, but it's like, you know, in the hundreds. Clearly, there's many of you guys who dream of fishing and making videos. And I was in your shoes 5 years ago when I first created this channel. It took me a whopping 2 years to hit 200 subscribers. But back then I was just goofing off and I was just doing whatever. So it wasn't until I won like a competition where I won my first boat. It was the On the Line challenge by Catchco. That's when like things started to get serious. We're gonna talk about our reels first, and then rods, and then some accessories, let's just call it that. Quick count: 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 reels. I'm not gonna open up all of them just because some of them are repeats, but I'll go ahead and show you. Starting off with, you know what, let's start off with this one. This is kind of the flagship reel that Cast King just came out with. It's the MGTI. And listen real quick, listen. Hear that noise when I flick the spool? It's because the spool is made out of full titanium. This is the type of innovation I'm talking about, why I wanted to work with this company. Right now, I want you guys to pause this video and go to their website, which I have in the description, and go and find a reel that you would like. If I were to do a hypothetical giveaway, go ahead and comment that reel in the comment section. Okay, I'm waiting for you to do it. Why are you still here? Anyways, if you've been able to find a reel that you would really want, this is what I would choose. Just playing with it in my hand, very, very impressed. Great materials. It's got that clicking drag too. I'll be fishing with this in a coming video where I do a really cool challenge, so y'all stay tuned for that. And if this brand starts to grow on you guys and you want to support the channel, you can always use my code FISHER10 to save some money on your purchase. Now moving on, in the first row, we got these big old saltwater reels. Oh yeah, that's pretty tough. So I have 2 of them in different sizes because I do want to do some really nice saltwater fishing coming up on the channel. But for now, let's move on. I'm really not trying to bore you guys to death by doing every single unboxing, just going over what I think is cool and everything. But this is a reel that I'm looking forward to trying out. This is called the Royal Legend Pro spinning reel. Getting bit by mosquitoes right now. Wait, hold on. Let me be back. I'm gonna spray some bug spray. Nothing I dislike more than mosquitoes. Like, why did God make mosquitoes? I just can't understand why. Maybe they had a cool original purpose, but regardless, now I just dislike them so much. Oh, that's pretty lightweight. Okay. Dig in the dark galaxy color. It's got like all these little glittery pieces in it. Things right out of the box are always gonna be seeming good, right? And I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys as I fish with these in the coming months. If something is like not good, I'm gonna not only tell my sponsor, I'm like, hey, can you guys fix this? But I'm also gonna tell you guys, hey, maybe don't buy this right now. So that's cool. I have 4 of these reels. Let's go ahead and set these to the side for now. Now moving on, the next set I have are 2 spinning reels. They are the Skeet Reese Spinning. These each retail for $99. First impressions, I'm impressed. Like, I would fish with this thing. It's got all the little details that you need on a spinning reel. I actually do like this yellow handle. Makes it easier for me to see. And weight-wise, it ain't the heaviest thing in the world, but it's not as light as some of the stuff I fished with in the past. But those are all like easily double or even triple the price of this. So for 99 bucks, man, okay, all right. They might be cooking here. That's what Skeet Reese looks like, by the way. I've never met him before, but I hear that he's like a really good fisherman. You gotta give it to them. Packaging, pretty nice. Next, I have 2 of these things. This is the casting deadbolt. This is where, once again, the innovation is so cool. Go ahead and take a look. Do you notice how there is no drag star at all? This thing does not have drag. It's locked. That's why it's called a deadbolt. Like, when you're going flipping and punching, this is what you need. You do not want your drag to slip. I've never seen or owned a reel that has this feature. Pretty cool. That is most of the reels done, but I'm just gonna go ahead and speed run through 2 of these last type of bait casters I have. And one of them is the KastKing Mega Jaws. I have the red version of this, and I like it because see this little button on the side? Basically, you can flip it, and it basically turns it into like a flipping machine. You press down the little spool knob, right? Let go. See, it automatically jumps up. So all you need to do when you're like flipping, right? You just press that down. You don't have to touch the handle to re-engage it. You kind of just like do it, you know, do your thing, and then you let go, and then it locks it in, and you're ready to. The last reel, of course, you guys know I love my swim baits, and so I had to get something quite monstrous. Oh yes, the Royal Megatron 200. Look at how deep that spool is. I gotta take off this plastic off these wooden handles, but I like the cork on it and feels solid. I don't want to bore you guys to death with tackle boxes, which there's some in there. There's 3 or 4 here. But then this line, just a quick speed run. I got around 4 types of line. I either got regular braid, special braid for like forward facing sonar, and then I think monofilament, and then fluorocarbon. That's all I need. They be manufactured in the US or Germany. In the past, I fished with a ton of Japanese lines, and they're always great. But what I noticed is these are actually like really affordable. So if these are the same quality as some of these Japanese lines, might have stumbled upon a gold mine. But we have to test it out first, okay? So I don't want to make any claims this video before I test it. It could be the best thing in the world. It could need some improvement, or it could just be not worth your time and money. Onto the rods. I hope that transition was cool. But for the next section, we have rods. And what do rods and I have in common? Well, it's easier for both of us to fish on boats, which gets into today's video sponsor, Angler's Choice. I've been working with them for the past 3 years now, and they've seriously had my back. They're a boat dealership, and they only have a handful of their 2025 models left. They got some huge price cuts, like up to 8 grand off. Plus, they're throwing in a 5-year Mercury Gold warranty for free. Just wanted to share that in case any of you guys are thinking about hooking that next dream boat. The deal's good until October 31st, so check it out if you're interested. And also, sneak peek, my new boat will be here sometime in the future. I don't know when yet. So we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 rods. Man, I don't even know what the best way to do this is without like putting a hole in the wall. You'll notice that I have a decent amount of these white rods. These are called Asegai. It's either a Asegai or Asagai. I could be butchering it. But they got Japanese components. These are some of their more premium rods. These 2 are for like your punching. This stuff, swim baits, and any other heavy A-rigs. I'm gonna lay them on the ground and hopefully my cat doesn't trample on it. You'll notice that I'm not going super in-depth in specifics about these things, because low-key, if you wanted to figure out stats, you can just go on their website. Nah, I'm just coping. I actually don't know all the stats. That's why I'm not saying them. I have 2 more, and I like how they have like a name on them. Do you see that? So this is called a Blade Runner. So that way it's a lot easier for me and you guys to know which type of rods to throw for what techniques. These are obviously for your blade baits, but they can work well for your Texas rigging as well, and also maybe a light Carolina rig. This is tiring, man. No, it's because I'm sick. Ugh. Also, another reason why I'm not out there fishing right now, but I'm doing an unboxing video. Very blessed to be in this position. I got 2 more of these Power Spin rods from, obviously spinning rods. I'll just use them for like little paddle tails, because the next 4 rods, I'm pretty excited about them. They're pretty sweet. So do you remember like the Royal Legend Pro earlier, like those spinning reels? These are what goes on them. So it's like a combo. And whoa, this hand grip. Yo, this reminds me of Lou's. That's what it, wow. That's like mad grippy. And it's very lightweight. And watch, boom, I broke it, just kidding. It's a 2-piece. So these bad boys, definitely throwing a drop shot and a Senko, and maybe even a net rig on it. Lastly, we have some of the biggest rods that I've ever put my hands on. These things are probably 8 feet long. This is called the Kong, as in like King Kong rod, because these are for your inshore fishing. When I go to the beach and I want to catch a shark, this is what I throw. Remember those saltwater reels I had earlier? That goes on here. So those are the rods. And once again, I'm gonna just off camera, because it's gonna take forever. I'm gonna start creating little combos. I'm gonna take the reels and then put them on the rods and everything. But yeah, this is all the rods. On to the third and last accessories. Man, my face looks so red. Lastly, I have, boom, 2 net. Just kidding, I have 2 rod holders. These could each fit around 15, 16 rods. Got a mini net. This would be perfect for kayak or paddleboard fishing. Made out of like a mesh material instead of your traditional, kind of like your string-ish, because the hook gets caught up in that, but this, nope, not at all. It comes right off, and it's good for the fish slime too. And then right next to it, I have the big version. It extends like super far. Look at this. What? And then down here, a variety of different backpacks. Of course, I went with the same color just because, why not? But now that I'm thinking of it, I probably should have mixed it up a little bit. I have 2 of these little bait storage bags. So inside, there's like a ton of these Ziploc bags pretty much. And what you do is you put in, your soft plastic. So there's 2 of those. A handy dandy backpack. Definitely gonna use these. I love backpacks and I collect them like crazy. This is the first backpack that I've ever owned that actually has proper like rod thingies on it. Then we have a pouch that goes around my waist. And then of course, a line bag. This is pretty neat. You just basically put your spools of line in there.